Hello there, my name's Peggy. I am a recent graduate of the Body Love Academy, created and founded by Emma Polette, and I'm excited to see where my next steps in my Body Love journey take me, and hopefully you can come along and join me along that ride. I am also an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I hold stamping and card making workshops monthly. That is a source of my creativity and one of my passions. And through the Body Love Academy, I learned that this really was one of my core self-care practices, that my stamping was almost a meditation or a mindfulness act for myself, because I was so focused on what I was creating and making that everything else just fell away. It fell into the background and allowed me to focus completely on what it was that I was doing, and not let all of the external clutter that we quite often have in our brains. It just lets it all go while I concentrate on this wonderful thing that I'm creating or making. So part of what I am doing as my next steps, now that I have graduated, is I am planning to combine both of those things. The self-care practices, which is my form of body love, I call it self-care, with the creativity. So creating in the everyday practices that will care and nurture your body and your mindset, because so much of self-care and body love revolves around us having our head in a really good space, having the right mindset or thought patterns, not to control them. Everybody goes through ups and downs, but having the right mindset or having your head in the right space basically enables you to make better choices and more loving choices towards yourself. So part of that, one of the steps along that journey is self-acceptance, understanding where you're at, where you're up to, and creating those daily practices to support you while you move towards wherever it is that you're wanting to go, whether that's wanting to create some calm in your life, wanting to be a little bit healthier, with whether that's regards to movement. I prefer the words movement to exercise. Exercise to me has always been about punishment and going hard, whereas movement to me, it just sounds a little bit more fun. It's a little bit freer. It doesn't have any of those other connotations with it. So whether you're wanting to move in those directions, yes, it just allows you to create some of those practices, whatever it is that you're moving towards. A nice self-care routine can help support you while you move forwards towards those things. So part of the body love method that I found was really helpful in supporting my self-care was daily rituals, or as I call them, daily practices. Some people might say daily habits, however that word's best for you. But I find that those little things that you do in the everyday, that you do because you want to, that you do that support you. For me, my paper crafting, things like meditation, or in another sense for my movement, one of my other daily rituals is putting a song on early in the morning before heading off to work, so I can get my groove on and bring up some happiness, shake off the cobwebs, and really get my vibe going for the day, so that I'm in a nice high energetic state. A bit of music can certainly help me do that, and the movement will help get my blood pumping and really just set my mind up for a really wonderful day. Something else that you can try is journaling. I like to do a little bit of journaling first thing in the morning. So I'll sit down with my cuppa and sit there and journal and just write out whatever's coming to mind for me in that particular moment, just basically dumping out whatever's in my head so I'm not carrying it around for the day, whether that's talking about the day before or a little bit of something I'm grateful for. I don't really control it. I just note it down. But I know for some people that journaling can be a little bit of a challenge. It can be a little bit daunting and intimidating to try journaling. So one of the practices I did when I was getting overwhelmed with journaling while I was in the Body Love Academy was to create a little mini practice. And it was just basically noting down little positive things, or as I'm now calling them, treasured moments from the everyday that, you know, something wonderful that happened in the day. Someone gave you a compliment, you saw a beautiful sunrise, you went to a fantastic and inspiring paint pouring workshop, your dogs decide to bark and make noise as you're making a video, your dog wakes up with a full body wag going in the morning, it sets you up for the day. All of those little things that don't mean anything to anybody else, but that touch your heart in that particular moment. Taking note of those. So just taking note, you know, of that couple of little things that will remind you of that, and popping that in a little creative box or tin. Recently actually had an entire workshop based around this fact, and I actually have the tin here that I created on that night. So we decorated that. So then just basically noting down those little things, just that one little note a day or a week, however you wanted to unfold that. I do it daily. It just helps you notice the good in every day, that there is almost always something good that's happening every day, even when things are bad. There's usually, or not going the way that you want, or they're challenging. You know, that lovely little card that you get in the mail unexpectedly from someone, you know, that little moment that, oh my gosh, someone's thought of me today, and you open up that card and you read it, and that's your little joyful moment. So those little daily rituals and practices that you can use and make to sustain your life. Now, you might be thinking, well, what does that have to do with body love? Well, all of those little daily little moments, as you're noticing either the gratitude, a gratitude practice, or taking note of the good moments in the everyday, those things will, as you notice them, you will start to actively look for more of those in your day and in your life. And you know, as you know, what was the Paul Simon song? How does it go? From little things, big things grow. So, you know, all of those little accumulative practices that you build up bring more joy, more happiness. Noticing those things, and obviously if you're having more happiness, you're in a better headspace. So then you're going to feel more open to whatever it is that you're looking to achieve, whether that's you know, career-wise, health-wise, relationship-wise. All of those little things build up as a cumulative effect to bring positivity, happiness and joy into our lives. And yes, as a flow-on effect, body love. So I'll be creating a number of different little workshops that can enhance those little daily rituals, or foster those little daily rituals and things that we'll have. So I'll be combining those practices, things like the treasure tin with the treasured moments, where we decorate the tin, but we talk about the practices and those sorts of things in the workshop. making little affirmation cards for mantras or daily affirmations that you want to say to yourself, and there'll be a creative component with that where you'll create or decorate or do something, so you've got something pretty to anchor those beautiful little sentiments that you want to say to yourself. Things like decorating books for journaling. So I'll have a number of different workshops coming up in the future as a fusion between creativity and self-care. So my thought to you would be, is there something you can do for yourself as a practice in self-care that you can make a daily ritual? Be that sitting and enjoying your quiet morning cuppa, or really sitting there and being present while you're laying your kids to sleep at night and really embracing that time, that close time together, to going out, getting out in nature and having a walk. If there's something that you can bring into your everyday that supports you, obviously you're going to know what's going to work for you best, but have a think about it. Daily rituals, daily practices, they're wonderful. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.